Oh my goodness, welcome back to the show. On June 26th, something pretty epic is happening. The Champions of Change celebrity basketball game will be played at Climate Pledge Arena. The event is the brainchild of former Seahawks Doug Baldwin, Michael Bennett, and Cliff Avril. The game will feature Seattle sports stars with celebrity coaches Marshawn Lynch, Gary Payton. The event will raise funds for 5 area charities, and I sat down with Doug to find out how this idea got started.
I mean, it's been years in the making, several conversations just about, how do we come together and do different things that we had already been doing individually, but then coming together to expand that, to scale that. We've got great partners that we work with in the community already, and so they were already in the conversation as well. Like, let's do something, put something together, and just happened, all the pieces fell together.
That's awesome. I mean, we have a platform, you use it, but the people behind it to lift the platform up is really important. And you're going to be supporting 5 very worthy organizations. How did you choose them?
They're organizations that are, they're not highly touted. They're not in the spotlight a lot. They're not getting a lot of recognition, but they're doing a lot of great work.
Right.
And they have a lot of data behind the impact that they have in the community. And so I guess the thesis for this 5 benefiting partners was that we wanted to focus on families and children, right? I think just from our perspective, we know the impact that investment and the pouring of love into us as children had on us as we became adults and now that we have children, right?
Right.
So it's very impactful for us to make sure that we're focusing on that component of service. And so these organizations just fell into that bucket perfectly.
This all comes down to an epic basketball game, June 26th, as I've just learned. It's at Climate Pledge Arena. Tell me about how it goes, what it's like.
It's a celebrity basketball game, but I think you're dealing with highly competitive individuals, right? So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll say that. We're bringing the entire community out, right? It's not just the Seahawks, but we're pegging the Mariners, the Kraken, the Sounders, the Storm. Who else? We got the old Sonics.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, not the old Sonics. Former Sonics. No, we have a great roster that we're building, and it's just a lot of folks who just enjoy serving the community. Yeah. And are willing to have some fun in the process, bring some spotlight to obviously to the event, but also to these organizations. So
let's talk about the coaches. To Gary Payton, Marshawn Lynch. What do we expect when they coach?
Obviously, you all know Marshawn he's incredibly entertaining, but he's also incredibly competitive, right? Right. And he's a little bit older, so his body's a little banged up, so he's not going to be on the court. But he's the coach. That's why he's the coach. He's not going to be on the court with us. And then obviously, we all know what Gary brings to the game. He's fiery and competitive, but can have a lot of fun. So I expect a lot of trash talking to be going on back and forth.
It's already started with Marshawn, but that's okay.
It's nonstop with Marshawn. But I do think when it gets down to crunch time in the game, like that's when, the mindset of a strategic coach comes out, and I'm very interested to see what happens.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. So you retired from the Seahawks and the NFL in 2019, but you're not just laying around. You're doing a lot of work for the community and on top of Champions of Change. Why is this so important to you that you, again, used your platform for advocacy?
I don't want to offend anybody when I say this, when I respond this way, but it's like, why not, right? And I think it is more unique to the 3 of us, or just entertainers, athletes in general, because you have a platform, right? And the expectation is like when, too much is given, much is expected, right? And I want to make sure that the work that I'm doing, the effort that I'm doing post-career, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy what I'm doing, but I also want to make sure that I'm serving, right? This community, this region in general has really served us as young men when we came into the NFL, treated us very well, obviously supported us in that process. We want to be able to provide that back, and we come from environments, cultures, communities that have taught us that. Our families raised us up that way. And so this is just a natural progression for myself, for Mike B, for Cliff, and this is what we've been doing. So in order to, to scale that, to expand that, we join forces.
And talking about the community, if I asked you what makes a community healthy, would you say love?
Yeah. I mean, let's break it down to something even smaller. You talk about a family, right?
Yeah.
What makes a family healthy? You're not always going to have the rainbows and butterflies in a family, right? You're not always going to get along. Not everything's not going to be smooth all the time,
Yeah.
right? But if you have that consistent foundation of love, of knowing that, you know, yes, you're my family. We may fight, we may argue, but I still love you. I still see you as a human being on this planet trying to survive and thrive.
Yeah.
And if I treat you as such, there's a lot of things that can come out of that. You know, there's a lot of progress and impact, innovation that can come out of that. And so, yeah, if we can expand that and have a larger foundation of that in the community, it's amazing what we can do. But I also know we're combating, you know, the chaos and the distractions of the world. And so you don't ever expect it to be perfect, but that's also part of it, right? You can never know the true depths of joy unless you understand the true depths of suffering.
He is one awesome human being, right? Now, during this interview with Doug, I may have alluded to the idea. Actually, no, I didn't allude to the idea. My producer, I sent her a text message saying I had mad game on the basketball court, which is not exactly true. She told Doug that. Anyway, I ended up going on the court with him. Check it out. Oh, you
want to start?
No, you start.
Okay, all right.
Damn. Darn. Excuse my language.
Don't worry, I've said worse.
There's no way I'm getting that.
What happened to that confidence? What happened to that confidence? I use backboard. You don't have to do backboard. I didn't call it.
All right, you didn't call it. Okay. I mean, I am much better than this usually. I just want you all to know. Typically, you should see me at the YMCA, okay? No, you actually should. Look, hey, my pal Doug said I did pass the ball well, okay? So that's half the battle right there. Well, the Champions of Change Celebrity Basketball game, which I will not be a part of, but I will probably attend, is June 26th at Climate Pledge Arena. And you can go to championsofchange.org to find out more who's on the team and get tickets and all that fun stuff. So there you have it.